Paul Bradley really wanted to make it in the music business. As a drummer for the Drovers during much of the 1990s, he was playing 220 shows a year. But instead of partying like a rock star after concerts, he and crew member Ian Kuhn were in their rooms writing code for a concert tour database program. This was at a time of pulling over at payphones to book gigs, when dates and venues were scrawled on scraps of paper and napkins. When the Dave Matthews Band hired Kuhn full-time as a monitor engineer in 1997, he took the first version of MasterTour database with him.
We began to meet a lot of other bands, Third Eye Blind and Neil Young and Foo Fighters and a lot of these other bands that would just come across the software and say, hey, this is great, we'd like to use it. At that point, we were just happy that someone else thought it was cool and we would give it to them. It wasn't literally until probably 6 or 7 years later when someone asked for it and said, how much is it? And that was, we kind of stumbled around and figured out a price point on the spot, and that was kind of the first sale.
That was 2002, and Production Consultants Guild was born. Slowly, word spread in the industry about MasterTour, which helps organize and share information about everything from schedules to venues and merchandise sales. Eventually, bands like Green Day and the Black Eyed Peas became users. Bradley spent the next few years changing PC Guild from a website and consulting company to a full-fledged software maker, but the system could not handle all the demand. So Bradley embarked on what he says is his biggest challenge to date: raising money.
10 reports.
He raised $400,000 in a friends and family deal and used the capital to rebuild the MasterTour software, and in 2008 launched Live Access, a web-based application that tracks VIP and guest ticket access.
There was just a lot of inefficiencies in the way these friends and family requests were taken for these big tours. A lot of inefficiencies, a lot of money lost, so we pretty quickly developed an online version of a ticketing system, but it's an invite-only ticketing system. It gives the administrator a lot of control on approving them because bands hold X amount of tickets per show, so that they can take care of kind of industry, friends and family, and this gives them a lot cleaner administration.
This service attracted names like the Jonas Brothers and Britney Spears.
What is it?
Last year, PC Guild changed its name to Eventric and relaunched MasterTour with a new monthly pricing model. The company is about to close on another round of financing, $2.1 million, which took more than 2 years to get, partly because of the recession.
That's a very intimidating position to be. Go out asking for money or something you believe in and having people tell you it's not worth anything.
Bradley plans to use the money to continue developing and marketing MasterTour and Live Access. He also wants to create a virtual marketplace for the touring business, a place for bands to find the best local guitar shop or caterer, and for vendors to bid on tour business.
So, an independent band, XRT.
Metro owner Joe Shanahan has been in the business for 3 decades. He's known Bradley and Kuhn since their Drovers days. Now he's a formal advisor to the company and says Eventric's biggest challenge will be taking a business built on relationships and broadening it globally.
Where Paul and Ian succeed is that they were in the trenches for a decade. They were slogging it out on the road, in vans, in buses, with all these guys, and so they're respected. They're like, oh, that piece works because those guys actually used it all the way up.
A quarter of Eventric's business right now is international. The company currently has 2,000 users worldwide and a small staff in Wicker Park to support them. Since last year's relaunch of MasterTour, business is growing 15% a month, a rate even Bradley says could be tough to maintain. Once again, Bradley may be on the road to success in the music business, just not in the way he initially expected.
And I didn't want to get a real job. I've never had a desk job. This fortunately fell into place where I could merge technology and music in a way that hadn't been done. That's been a really rewarding part of it, to have created something that didn't exist in a really cool environment.